Um, so here we are.
It's
It's a Thursday again,
yeah,
which is
that's weird that keeps happening
Thursday.
when we're like recording these.
Yeah, it's so coincidental.
We're 13 minutes in. That's a good number to be in.
Can I hit you with my first article?
Oh well, we
while we're
should
here?
explain to people. There's no Beauregard Green again, and you don't really care, but like, I don't think we're gonna spend time on them until we finish spending time setting up. However, we're trying to integrate this MP3 with the internet, which is really big headache.
Yeah.
Like we can't even get an email address. It's hard out here for a pimp.
Yeah.
So once we finish doing all that, we'll probably get back into it. But yeah, we should start on news stories. I just wanted to explain that.
Well, as I mentioned last Thursday, we were here, and one of the big things we talked about was the Hunger Games, which actually Joe and I both saw that night.
So if you listened last week, you knew that I've never read the books and was not planning on seeing the movie because I hadn't read the friggin' books. But I was out with the gang, and there ended up being an extra ticket, and I didn't really feel like going home.
Right.
Because I live alone in the basement. So I came in, or a manhole, sorry. I came and saw the movie, which we can get into that. But do your story.
Well, I don't know if you heard about this, but there's been some serious controversy regarding the Hunger Games casting.
Okay.
In the last week since it's come out. The Hunger Games fans this past week, not all of them, but
all of them would be ridiculous.
A very odd
billion.
little group of them have been tweeting their discontent due to the race of the actors playing the characters Cinna, the designer, Thresh, and Rue. Rue being the little girl who befriends Katniss, Thresh being the big guy who
the other District 12 guy?
The other District 11 guy with Rue.
Right, 11.
Yeah, Thresh. All of them are black. Cinna being played by Lenny Kravitz.
So you mean the racist fans?
The racist fans, but they're being very vocal, and it's
weird.
The
racists usually are.
But it's weird because these people don't seem like it's. A lot of these are sort of like, are they racist tweets or are they just stupid? And they're definitely racist. Don't get me wrong. But the thing that people are saying a lot is that in the book, it's like, oh my god, it's so awful that they're casting these characters as black when it's not even in the book. It's just they're doing this weird non-traditional casting. One, non-traditional casting is a great thing, and two,
non-traditional,
really weird.
In the tradition of casting movies about children killing each other,
right? One of the
it's ridiculous.
One of the tweets, which is really one of the more innocuous ones, is awkward moment when Rue is some black girl and not the innocent little blonde girl you picture.
Why do you picture an innocent blonde girl?
Well, I don't know why you picture an innocent little blonde girl.
Wait, does it say that Rue is a blonde girl?
When in the book, the character is noted for her dark skin. Thresh and Rue, both dark skin.
Blonde girls can get tans depending on where they're from.
Well, yeah, depending on how racist you are. Seriously, some of these tweets, I'm gonna there were some that are like, I'm sorry I'm a racist, but when I saw Rue die, I didn't care as much because she was black. These tweets are crazy, and they're all over the internet.
That's the problem with Twitter is that people are allowed to use it.
Yeah. These people should not be allowed to speak their minds.
Yeah.
And the real problem is, in the book, it is very clear that Rue and Thresh are black. To anyone who is using basic reading comprehension skills,
race attuned.
Yeah, the character of Cinna is not referred to as black. The only mention of his appearance is when they refer to his short black hair or his short brown hair.
When you hear that appearance, you gotta cast Lenny Kravitz.
He's the only guy to cast.
That's what jumped out at me when I didn't read the book.
Well, the casting of Lenny Kravitz is another issue entirely. But the point is, it's
crazy.
It's crazy seeing how many racists come out of the woodwork
and feel comfortable out of the woodwork.
Right, to be like, oh, I'm a racist. Here are my tweets.
We don't like racism, but we were comfortable with it in the woodwork. We're dealing with it that way.
Right,
but don't
there.
Stick your neck out.
Seriously, and it's a little bit. It's a weird juxtaposition between a bunch of racists and like reading this book that's like written at a tween reading level.
Right.
I don't know. It's weird that like the racist uproar would really come out on this.
I think a lot of racists, their reading comprehension tops out at tween. That's like they're not going above that. Like even a 50-year-old.
Yeah, I guess maybe. Yeah, I was reminded today by our friend John of a website that is a football website that deals exclusively in like racist articles.
Yeah, it's
but
like
about football news.
Like the racist angle on any football news.
Exactly, it's it's like the racist version of any football news.
It's got a really good title. You remember?
Yeah, it's cast football.
Cast like
something like
with an E.
CASTE. But yeah, so I thought that all that was
anytime anyone's racist and they're like out in the open about it and then on a national scale, it just baffles.
It's like, dude,
don't
you know that you're like
keep it secret,
really
keep
fringe,
it safe.
like you're really on the outside of like what everyone else thinks is okay.
Well, that's not necessarily true. I mean, racism is pretty pervasive, but the idea is now, like since the civil rights movement, since all the shit, since Halle Berry won the Oscar.
Oh.
No, that doesn't really. It wasn't really important at all. But just in modern times, you're supposed to keep that shit quiet.
Right, no one likes you for being a racist now. I mean, except the other racists, but they quietly like you.
Yeah, like, dude, nice on that racism.
See, for me,
just between you and me, solid.
The character of Thresh, who in my mind, of course, was black because I read the book and it is clear, I was annoyed by his casting because he wasn't a larger black man.
I thought he was large.
He wasn't large enough.
Oh.
In my mind, this kid was a monster.
He seemed monstrous to
me. He was big-ish. I guess, he was supposed to be like a 17-year-old, 16-year-old. But...
jaded in terms of big black men.
Listen, all I do is look at pictures of big black men down in my manhole.
Yep. Wait.
All right. Joe, hit us with your first current events article. Let's see what you got here.
My first... Which one should I do first?
Yeah,
I want to, not fuck with the flow, because all mine are kind of depressing except for one. Well, should I do the least depressing one first?
Yeah, do the least depressing one.
Okay, so scientists say now, this is in BBC Nature, they've been studying bottlenose dolphins, there's this long-term study that's been going on since the 80s, and they're finally now ready to report that they have bottlenose dolphins exist in a very multi-layered and complex society of gangs. like the headline is literally bottlenose dolphins, gangs run society, scientists say. So the way it works is there are 2 or 3 who are a nimble group of close buddies who go out to court and herd fertile females.
Okay.
And then in a second order alliance, in quotes, the animals form teams between 4 and 14 males, which mount attacks on other groups to take females or defend against attacks.
Okay.
And the third level, Inception shit. The dolphins have larger teams. They have friendly relations between the 4 to 14 set. That when necessary, when other large aggressive groups, because it's dolphins exist in these they don't have set territories like wolves. They have these general spheres of influence in the ocean. It's fucking cool as hell.
Yeah, this sounds awesome.
It's so awesome. Anyway, so with their local groups that they hate when it comes down to the females, but when a large aggressive group comes in, they'll band together and they'll have friendly relations when push comes to shove.
Like a temporary truce treaty.
Right. So they play they have this crazy risk game going on that that must require such a crazily complicated brain. Because I know so many people who really suck at risk, humans.
Yeah.
And it seems like these dolphins are fucking awesome. I mean, we've always known that dolphins are fucking awesome.
Right, which is why there's so many. I think there's a lot of dolphins rights people and animal rights people who are most passionate about dolphins because all the studies that are dolphins are the closest thing to an intelligent brain that we have other than humans on this planet.
Right.
But that sounds fucking awesome,
Right?
And like we could make an awesome sport out of it.
What? I thought you were gonna say movie. Well, how sport?
I don't know, like teams of 4 or 14, like, you know.
Oh, you can make like a carbon copy of it for humans to make it a game.
Yeah, and like maybe that's how we rule over our, once it happens, our post-apocalyptic society.
Yeah, we could take a page from the Dolphins playbook.
Yeah, I mean, not from the Dolphins playbook because
Dolphins
aren't so hot right now.
The Dolphins, they haven't been good for a long time.
They are really without a quarterback.
We should take a page from the Dolphins of the 1970s.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean the bottlenose Dolphins of the 1970s.
Yeah, they wore bell bottoms
and aviators.
But yeah, no, that's awesome. That's really interesting and really bizarre.
Yeah. Well, get ready for my other ones.
All right. Well, I'll give you another one.